John Higgins, DJ Carsonson, Courtney Green, the officials, and off we go from the Cathedral of College basketball, the Palestra, Top Rock, Purdue, and Penn State doing battle. Again, Purdue 14-1, the only loss to Rutgers, but bounced back with a win earlier this week on Thursday at Ohio State. Penn State starting on offense here. Seth Lundy leaning in, doesn't get it. Fighting on the glass, but he knocks it out of bounds and will head the other way. And certainly, Rob, rebounding will be something huge to focus on.
Well, they just dominated a very good Ohio State rebounding team on the glass. And every time a shot goes up, especially on this end, if you're Penn State, you better find a body. Zach Edey and Caleb First have been just monsters on the offensive glass.
And they go right down into Edey. I mean, how does Penn State contend with that tonight?
I think they're going to do a lot of the similar looks they threw at Hunter Dickinson. Change things up. Sometimes you're digging, sometimes you're trapping. You're trying to make him feel off balance, but a good sign for Zach Edey getting to that right jump hook early.
Zach Edey averaging over 21 points, over 13 rebounds a game. Both of those numbers, top 10 in the nation. Here's Pickett. He makes the engine go for Micah Shrewsbury's club, and on cue he buries a three.
He knocked down two of them in the game at Michigan. 26 points, 9 rebounds, 4 assists. And if he's making threes, boy, good luck guarding him.
The two stars for these teams getting the buckets early. Penn State off to a good start this year, 11-4, 2-2 in league play. Edey there misses, and Pickett grabs the board. As Robbie told you, Pickett does it all, averaging over 17 points, over 7 rebounds, and over 7 assists a game.
Really almost plays the entire game. I mean, he's just unbelievable. Leads the league in minutes and never looks like he gets tired.
Almost got an assist there, but in and out for Lundy. Folks, Penn State can fill it up from outside the arc. They make almost 11 threes a game. Edey collects and Edey scores.
That play is made by Braden Smith, who I thought was absolutely phenomenal at Ohio State. The bounce back from his performance against Rutgers, 16-6, just one turnover. Made plays for other people, made threes from the perimeter, and he set the table for Edey right there.
First foul of the game at the 17:50 mark. Matt Painter, 4-time Big Ten Coach of the Year. 2 wins away from joining the 400 club with Knight, Izzo, Lou Henson, and Gene Cady, of course, a former Purdue coach.
I get the feeling that in talking to both of these staffs, this game is a little bit uncomfortable just because of the ties. Micah Shrewsbury, obviously the longtime Purdue assistant coach. Grady Eifert played for Matt Painter. So when you see how connected these programs are, one of those weird games.
Yeah, not many secrets. Great shot fake, and Miles Dredd, a wonderful shooter, but they're too much.
Nice job by Braden Smith, though. He left his feet for the shot fake, but stayed in the play and still managed to get a good contest on Dredd.
Down inside, Caleb First now against Dredd on the other end. Great spin move and a slam.
It's got to be what Caleb First continues to develop, because on that play, Miles Dredd is sitting on his left hand, spins back to the baseline, and finds an easy one at the rim.
6'10" sophomore. Purdue has all the size as Ethan Morton kicks to stop the clock.
Caleb First loves his left jump hook, and you can see Dredd just overplaying that hand and spin baseline, hang on rims.
We talk about how will they contend with Edey, but really Purdue has several guys that are bigger than most of these Penn State players.
This is a matchup to watch right here too, Brandon, because Ethan Morton is going to have his hands full guarding Jalen Pickett.
And Funk, who can hit it from anywhere, misses his first three. Edey just knocked over
Sorry about to Caleb First. That's a man's board.
Smith for 3, and Purdue off to a good start up 6.
Just love the confidence that Braden Smith is playing with, taking what the defense gives Kevin Jai deep in drop coverage, and he just drills that from 23 feet.
Freshman from Westfield, Indiana, just outside of Indianapolis. Pickett can't get it, rebound, comes down to Lundy though. Lundy powers it up and got it.
It's a little taste of Purdue's own medicine right there. You got 3 Boilermaker defenders and Seth Lundy finding a way to come up with the basketball and making something happen.
As Andy mentioned, Lundy very comfortable on this floor where he won 3 Catholic League titles at Roman Catholic, which is just 2 miles from the Palestra.
Pass.
And Edey cannot finish. Pickett in the corner. Lundy loves that spot. rebound to Loyer.
We heard Michael Shrewsbury say, give our fans something to cheer about. And so far early, Penn State with some quality looks from three, with just 1 of 5.
5 of their 8 shots from deep, and that's kind of their story. They will continue to shoot it from long range. There's a travel on Caleb first. It's an incredible venue, and when it's packed to the gills, it just doesn't get any better than this.
Ever wonder why they call it the American dream and not the American goal or plan? Maybe it's because in dreams, you can do anything. In dreams, you can hold your entire world in the palm of your hand and turn time inside out again and again. And you can do it all with your eyes wide open.
Take a picture.
I'm stuck! Is that a new iPhone?
Yep, I just got the new iPhone 14 with its amazing camera at T-Mobile.
Wow.
For a limited time at T-Mobile, get 4 iPhone 14s on us and 4 new lines for $25 a line.
Teeth sensitivity is so common. It immediately feels like somebody's poking directly on the nerve. I recommend Sensodyne. Sensodyne toothpaste goes inside the tooth and calms the nerve down. And my patients say, you know, doc, it really works.
Things are heating up. Showtime!
How good is he?
They are on fire! Oh my! Wow! As good of an atmosphere as there is in college basketball.
Teamwork, it inspires us on and off the field. And here in Big Ten country, where we battle for titles and trophies, when it comes to fighting cancer, we're on the same team. Our playbook, uncover new ideas and discoveries to enable new cancer treatments. Our Big Ten rivals are teaming up to fight cancer, together. The Big Ten Cancer Research Consortium, providing more wins, more memories, more hope.
Well, the Palestra opened back in January 1927. All the great players that have played here, but all the great coaches, including Brad Stevens when he was at Butler in his final season, coached here in a win over Penn. And he went on to become the head coach, now the general manager of the Boston Celtics. And he is in attendance not only to watch the players on the court, but because he has such close ties to both of these head coaches. Longtime friend of Matt Painter. They used to coach together in USA Basketball. And Micah Shrewsbury was an assistant for Brad, both at Butler and then with the Boston Celtics. And you mentioned, of course, Shrewsbury was under Matt Painter at Purdue, so there's just a lot of coaching tie-ins today.
There absolutely is. And I was on the floor with Matt Painter and Brad Stevens before the game, and we were talking about if any of the three of us had ever been here. And Brad said, well, yeah, we played here in the CBI year. And I said, is that the year you guys beat us? He goes, oh, yeah. Yes, it is.
Good memories for you, right?
Thanks, right.
And then shortly after the next season, as I mentioned, Brad would go on to Boston. And now in attendance to watch his two friends. Said he's staying neutral tonight with those two guys.
The connection's strong because you announced that game for Butler.
I did. That's off the mark from Jai. One thing I remember, and it's the case today, even though it's cool outside, it is hot in this venue.
Really warm in here.
It is old school. Again, opened in January of 1927. Edey, Purdue now 8-0 points in the paint.
And again, the double doesn't come. And Kevin Jai he's getting posted deep, and Edey's getting exactly what he wants in the right hook.
Edey already 3 buckets inside. Here's Pickett. What a tough assignment for Ethan Morton. Double team.
Really good double by Edey, but the help side goes away, and Jai all by himself. That's the strength of having shooters on the perimeter, because these Purdue defenders are so worried about giving up open shots that they are willing to leave the paint to get out to their man.
Jai, a true freshman, scoreless the last 2 games, but gets a bucket there. High pass, but Smith able to come down with it. Here's Mason Gillis. Experienced player, redshirt junior, but a dangerous pass out of bounds. It goes to Penn State.
Well, the help side defender, your initial responsibility has got to be the lane. But when you've got shooters on the perimeter, Andrew Funk in your screen, boy, it's just a hard get. Braden Smith's getting out, Fletcher Loyer's getting out. Both those guys have got to be in the painted area, and instead it's a layup for Kevin Jai.
Yeah, so for all the talk of how will Penn State guard Edey, it also works both ways. It's tough for Purdue to defend these smaller players. Three-pointer knocked down for Seth Lundy. Good post position, but before he could shoot it, a foul on Michael Hinn. Well, later tonight, Rick Pizzo, Mike DeCourcy, Rayfeld Davis discussing all the major stories in college hoops. Big Ten basketball and beyond. That's tonight, 8:30 Eastern on Big Ten Network.
Michael Hinn is listed at 6'8", and he looks tiny next to Zach Edey.
6'8", 244. He's by far the oldest player on the court. He's 25 years old trying to defend Edey. And Edey lost that, and they're going to say it went off for the Boilermaker.
That's where Zach Edey's got to just catch, turn, and score. Tried to get just a little bit closer with the pivot. Look at how he brings the basketball down. You bring it down, now all of a sudden those guards, they're able to take it from you. Good help defense there from Seth Lundy.
Winner bouncing and kicking. Lundy, one of three players in the regular rotation, shooting over 40% from three for this Penn State team. So dangerous. Here's Pickett against Newman, fading off the mark, rebounded Gillis.
Good defense by Newman. Started to leave his feet, but still stayed down just enough. And then a big-time rebound from Mason Gillis.
Purdue looking to clean it up a little bit. 3 turnovers in their last 4 possessions. But Edey can't get it off the window. Full head of steam, Andrew Funk. Lundy thought about it. And he's bumped on his way to the basket. Foul on Newman, his first, second on Purdue. Pretty free-flowing, only 3 fouls so far.
How about this environment, though? And I don't mean this as any disrespect to Penn State's home court, but for Christmas break, traditionally, they have not been well-attended games, so for not just Micah Shrewsbury, but also Matt Painter, who had to sign off on this, good on them, because between the venue and the atmosphere, this is big time.
Well, it's tough at the Bryce Jordan Center. It's such a big arena. Even if you have 8,000 in there, sometimes it doesn't feel that loud. Winner off the mark on the baseline. But this is just wonderful. They played here at Penn State in 2020 in January before COVID hit against Iowa, and 2017 against Michigan State as Loyer knocks down the 3.
Starting to come around shooting the basketball. 6 of his last 12 from 3 over the last 2 games. And earlier in the season, he was doing his damage from 2. Starting to struggle a little bit inside the arc. But from outside, he is heating up.
Edey and Smith, what a dangerous combo. 2 freshmen for Matt Painter that have really played well in the starting lineup all season long. Hinn from 3. Short.
You can make that.
Oh, Newman just fumbled it. Edey a timeout.
But then you look at the fact that Purdue 6 of 9 has only missed actually 3 shots, and we're already 8 minutes into this game. The ball's going to continue to go into Zach Edey, and they will play through him and see what happens, whether it's for him or for their shooters.
Drab, well-designed play, but he missed the shot.
He's kind of struggled with his shooting. Be a bit streaky. 44% from 3 on the year, but 5 of 16 from 3 the last 4 coming in.
This is the 9th time that a #1 team has played at the Palestra. #1 teams in this building, 8-0. Last time, 2016, Villanova won here. Kaufman-Wren, his first shot of the night is short. Oh, he got tangled up there with Michael Hinn. That might have been a hook and hold. This is one they may have to take a second look at.
I'm not sure they saw the hook and hold aspect of it. Definitely a foul call. So they're tied up. It's going to be Hinn and Trey Kaufman-Wren. He definitely gets him in the face there. And if there is a hook and hold, the contact was before that. But, I mean, he does go down, but the foul is before. Right there.
And then Kaufman-Renn kind of hooks and holds, but yeah, the foul had already happened.
When Edey's not in the game, Purdue really plays through Trey Kaufman-Renn. He's going to go to his right hand.
And there's a little foul body bump on Miles Dredd.
This is the issue with going small. And if you can't flip it on the other end with your three-point shooting, I mean, Miles Dredd, even though he certainly is a big guard at 6'4", listed at 235, but you just have to give such an effort to even compete with some of the size that Purdue's going to throw out there.
The play before on him was his second foul, so he goes to the bench. And now here's another whistle. So we had 7.5 minutes of free-flowing basketball, and now things getting gummed up a bit.
Pickett was getting so physical there with Fletcher Loyer, and he's trying to blow up this screen. That's not a foul at all.
The first on Jalen Pickett. Obviously, if he picks up a second, that's a big story. Loyer fighting through a screen, and then kicking it out to Newman. Here's Kaufman-Renn. He talked about them playing through him. Double team comes. Finds Loyer. Off the mark, but an offensive rebound. Kaufman-Renn patient. But he fell out of bounds with it. Pretty good defense by Miles Dredd.
Got to give Dredd a lot of credit. He guarded Hunter Dickinson, who's 7'1", in the loss at Michigan. His size, he can really battle you, incredibly strong, can get underneath you and leverage it. Then he just gets a hand on it and gets Trey Kaufman-Renn off balance.
Hunter Dickinson also gave him a black eye on an incidental elbow that he was showing me at shoot-around today. He was upset the officials didn't review that one. Shot up no good, but Mahaffey fouled. And they'll say the foul on the floor, no free throws.
Mahaffey's really earned himself a role. 17.5 minutes a game over the last two. 5 of 7 from the field in that stretch.
Tell you what, and you kind of mentioned it, but the Penn State fans here, where they are loud, they are active.
It's a great crowd.
And they're letting the officials steer it right now. That was the second foul on Caleb First of Purdue. Cameron Winter, who transferred from Drexel. Their campus is a half mile from here, so he's very familiar with Philadelphia as well. He's got it right now. Only played here once during his time at Drexel. Was a loss to Temple his freshman season. Puts up a shot there and airballs it.
Really good defensive possession for Purdue. Fletcher Loyer initially with Andrew Funk, and then in the ball screen action, good contest on Winter.
Dangerous pass. Jenkins throws it away. Mahaffey lays it in. He blew a tire, but he still wanted to go.
I thought he was going to go up there and tear the rim off, but instead they all count the same. Just lay it up.
Newman curling through a screen. No. Penn State, chance to tie or take the lead. Inside Pickett. Great pass. That time, Mahaffey throws it down.
How about putting Jalen Pickett in the ball screen as the roll man and then facilitating really good cut though on the baseline. Pickett finding you.
Turnover for Purdue. Mahaffey, Euro step, charge.
This building is electric right now. I mean, an incredible crowd. And what a sequence that was. Evan Mahaffey just a little bit out of control.
Well, Andy, I know you feel the intensity in here.
Yeah, really interesting thing going on with whether or not this is a neutral or road game. It was entered into the net as a neutral game, but Penn State controlled all the tickets, the pregame video, the crowd, and Purdue is treating this like a true road game in Penn State, a home game. The NCAA, I know, is looking into whether or not this will be designated as a road game, which could affect the net.
Sure feels like a Penn State home game as Edey has 8 points. And the thing where that could become big is this could be either a quad 1 or quad 2 game. As Andrew Funk just hit one from the way outside the arc. Good skip pass. Braden Smith, no. You better watch Funk because he'll pull it from anywhere. Newman picks him up.
Just ask Illinois. He totally turned that game on its head with 3 threes. Got them that win in Champaign a couple weeks back.
Meanwhile, Pickett using that footwork. Whoa! That was YMCA stuff right there.
I mean, he'll post Zach Edey, he'll post Hunter Dickinson. It really doesn't matter. He is a true scorer and will post anybody in the country.
Edey already with 8 points. The double team. Smith out to Gillis. Sets his feet. Fires. In and out. But good tap out by Edey.
That's really just get you on the glass. And that's why Purdue's turnovers are so crushing, because they're such a good offensive rebounding team. Just getting a shot up can be their best offense.
That was spectacular ball movement.
That thing's popping around. You give up a good shot to get a great one. And Braden Smith with the answer to quiet this crowd.
Braden Smith, 6 points, averaging 9 a game, leads his team in steals and assists as a true freshman. Indiana Mr. Basketball at Westfield High School. Balling Newman in the lane, but no whistle, and then that one slipped right out of the hands of Winter. Pickett, he's hit 2 of them. You said it, when he is hitting threes, good luck defending him.
Plays pick and roll, he's making threes, he can post anybody on the floor. He's just a big-time player.
Edey, just patting his stats right there.
Oh my goodness. That's the Nerf hoop. All right, you and I do that on the Nerf hoop. Zach Edey does it on the real hoop. Misses a layup and just tip dunks his own miss.
I don't even do it on the Nerf hoop. I do it in my dreams. But
little tights?
Yeah. 7'4", 290. That's when you can do that stuff.
How awesome is this?
It is sensational, the crowd, and it has been hot, and it keeps getting hotter in here as this game progresses. Pickett, another one he wants. He got it again, and Edey found it. This is a Penn State home game.
So impressed to see the way that he's worked.
And he's a fantastic young man. And Gwendolyn Pickett, his mother, whatever she did in raising him, she did it right. She remembers him playing at the Boys and Girls Club in Rochester, New York. That's really started to hone his game as a young man. He's just getting better and better. He's already got 12 at Penn State's 26.
He's leaving the floor. Miles Dredd coming in for Jalen Pickett. I promise you, he will not be over there long. 35 minutes a game. And I was talking to Micah Shrewsbury before the game. He said at Michigan, I forgot I didn't take him out. He played the whole way.
Smith on the other end, and he knocks it down, a long 2-pointer.
Kevin Jai's in the game. Braden Smith is going to have massive opportunities to come off ball screens and get to his pull-up or get to that 3 off the bounce.
8 already for Smith. Edey leading Purdue still with 10 points. Lundy driving inside. Edey says, I don't think so. The other way, Braden Smith.
That's where Edey's made such strides. This is just big-time transition offense.
Tried to tap it back. He got fouled. 2 free throws coming for the big fella. A Wednesday hoops doubleheader. Penn State back in action, back in State College, taking on Indiana, and then Rutgers and Northwestern. Tip-off show precedes it all Wednesday. Big Ten Network, Fox Sports app. Northwestern, big win against Indiana today. How about the Cats 3-1 in conference play?
They're playing so much better defensively, and when they score it, which they totally did today, Bui, Chase Audige. Audige is a guy that could find himself making an all-conference defensive team. He is a big-time defender.
Penn State holding a 3-point lead here against the number 1 team in the land. Purdue 14-1, that lone blemish on Monday against Rutgers at Mackey Arena. Lundy driving, spinning, fading. Wow, that was pretty.
Using your size, using your balance, and driving Ethan Morton hard with that right hand. Playing off 2 feet and getting to his turnaround jumper.
From Paulsboro, New Jersey, nearby to here, as we said, Roman Catholic High School, just a couple of miles up the road. And what a thrill for him to play in this gym today. Smith surveys up top. Edey's right there.
And it's a shot, but it might as well be a pass, too. If it goes in, great. If it doesn't and misses long, it's an automatic bucket for Zach Edey.
Yeah, anytime a defender steps over and Edey's all alone, you're exactly right.
That's why turnovers hurt Purdue so much, because they're such an elite offensive rebounding team.
6 Purdue turnovers, just 2 for Penn State. Penn State leads the country in fewest turnovers a game, less than 9. Lundy, the bank is open.
Ethan Morton is right there. I'm not sure he can defend that much better. That's just a big-time play from Lundy.
Well, they call him lockdown Lundy for the job he does on this end, but tonight, got 8 points already. Gillis sets his feet, in and out.
He's had some good looks over the last couple games, and it seems like he's had a bunch of them do just that, in and out. A good shooter. He's 4 of 18 from 3 in his 5 games since coming back.
And here's Funk for a rare miss. So Penn State up a half dozen. Smith inside, great pass, and Edey knows what to do with it.
Seth Lundy has got to be in. Regarding Ethan Morton, he can make them from out there, but he's such a low-volume guy. Just 24% from 3 on the season. You've got to be in early. You've got to find a body on Zach Edey, and if you don't, he is going to be dunking that thing all night.
14 points, 8 rebounds. Edey almost has a double-double here in the first half. Kebajai out there, that's not his area, so he gives it up. Lundy kicks it up top. Back into Jai, wasn't ready for it. Over Edey, too much, and a foul. Push there on Lundy. Penn State by 4. Stud in all capital letters. Let's go over to Andy.
All right, unbelievable atmosphere. How much of this is what you anticipated when you scheduled this game?
Yeah, a lot, man. I didn't want to, I wanted to play Purdue. They wanted to do it, but they're so good, right? That mistake on my part, but I knew our guys would rise to the challenge. This crowd is awesome. We got to keep getting something to cheer for.
All right, so what are you going to tell them in the second 20 minutes what they must do to maintain this lead?
I think we got to, stay with discipline, right? We went under Braden Smith. He hits a shot. We go under Fletcher Loyer. He hits a shot. Zach's a load. He's going to score. We got to continue to make it tough. We got to continue to rebound and keep executing on it.
Hey, thanks for scheduling it.
Well, last year, Micah Shrewsbury 0-2 against his former boss, Matt Painter, but up 6 after 20 minutes at the Palestra. Halftime report from Chicago right after this.
Jake from State Farm. I really want that personal price plan, so I'll admit it. I'm a bath bomb guy.
Dude, you do not need to get that personal. The State Farm Personal Price Plan simply helps you create an affordable price just for you.
For real?
Who's ready for their jazz bath? No?
Who is that guy?
Jazz bath? Call or click to get a quote today. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Hey, I get it. Commitment can be scary, but not when you're saving up to 15% with Subscribe and Save at Amazon. You get free repeat delivery on your favorite items. And if things don't work out, you can always cancel. Seriously, no one would judge you if you call it off. Okay.
Learn all the ways to save with Amazon.
Our Hoops Insiders examine the week's top stories. Big Ten basketball and beyond. Tonight on Big Ten Network.
Gatorade Fit. Fitness starts from the inside out.
I'm working on my energy. Cleaning up, I'm taking care of myself and me.
Get healthy, real hydration. And no added sugar, artificial sweeteners, or added colors.
Working on my energy.
Gatorade Fit. Healthy, real hydration today helps you fuel tomorrow.
Find the styles you love and the prices to match. Shop the Lowe's Bath Style and Save event now, in-store and online.
The Gymnastics Nation Super 16, tonight on Big Ten Network.
Old Trapper Beefs, last bag.
You know there's plenty for both of you.
Old Trapper, what's your beef? The official beef jerky of the Big Ten.
Jalen Pickett is nothing short of ridiculous. 18 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, that 4-point play, and Penn State leads Purdue 37-31 at the break. Welcome into the State Farm Halftime Report. Rick Pizzo, Raphael Davis, Mike DeCourcy. Unbelievable atmosphere. Call it what you will. It's a home game for Penn State, and the Nittany Lions are taking advantage thanks in large part to Jalen Pickett.
Jalen Pickett is just having his way. They dare him to shoot three-pointers. He goes 3 from 3 from the three-point line. 18 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, all in the first half. He's posting up Zach Edey. He's taking Brady Smith into the post. He's taking the Boilermakers to the woodshed right now, getting anything he wants offensively.
If you're Purdue, you're sitting here without a result, so you can think about the positives. And you now know by now that you're not going to find an atmosphere or a circumstance that Braden Smith as a freshman point guard can't handle. 12 points in the first half against that defense in that atmosphere, coming off the terrific performance that he delivered against Ohio State on the road on Wednesday night. He is going to be fine all the way through the Big Ten season. Might have his moments, but he's big enough for everything that they throw at him.
He and Zach Edey, though, they need some help. They've taken 21 of Purdue's 29 field goals. Other guys need to be more active if the Boilermakers are going to overcome this small halftime deficit. This, the final and 4th game of the day. We'll show you highlights from the first 3 when the Big Ten Live halftime returns right after this.
Halftime on the Big Ten Network is presented by State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
At Jersey Mike's, you gotta see him freshly slice your sub right in front of you. Look at that turkey. Look at that provolone. Yep, there's some things you just gotta see. Like those lovebirds over there. Or this guy, pulling off business and casual. Bizazual. Or me, about to steal half of this guy's sub. Huh? You better eat it fast, because I'm coming. Sliced right in front of you. It's a Jersey Mike's thing. A sub above.
Cracked windshield? Make it easy and schedule with SafeLight, because you can track us and see exactly when we'll be there.
I have a few more minutes. Let's go.
That's service that fits your schedule. Go to safelight.com.
SafeLight Repair, SafeLight Replace.
Tuesday, Leah Brown and the Wolverines.
Ridiculous finish.
Take on Janae Terry and the Boilermakers. Women's Hoops, Tuesday at 6:30 Eastern, only on Big Ten Network.
Oh, what a good time we will have. You can make it happen again.
Voltaren, the joy of movement.
Lift off. Woo. Ay, can't stop what you can't catch. Ay, you can't catch what you can't see. I'm so stealth, you ain't get the message.
If
If you're looking for the biggest Big Ten experience, then welcome home. The Big Ten Plus app, powered by Big Ten Network. Personalized with your pass so you get your favorite Big Ten sports and schools streaming and on demand. We're the home of compelling stories, the iconic games, hundreds of exclusive events you can't find anywhere else. Because when it comes to the Big Ten sports you love, there's no plus like home. Only on the Big Ten Plus app, powered by Big Ten Network. Download and subscribe now.
Brace for impact. It's Friday Night SmackDown on Fox.
Listen to this place. Crowd is witnessing history tonight.
Tap into network television's greatest spectacle.
Check this out. Oh!
As the baddest superstars on the planet are unleashed in prime time. All new Friday Night SmackDown at 8 Eastern on Fox.
Maryland hosting number 24 Ohio State. 4 minutes to play. Terps up by 3. Roddy Gale goes for the steal. Don Carey retains possession. Eventually finds Julian Reese down low as the Terps extend the lead to 5. And Jameer Young had himself a monster Sunday afternoon. Drives into the paint, hits the floater. 2 of his 30, adds 11 rips. And Maryland knocks off Ohio State. Second straight loss for the Buckeyes, 80-73. Northwestern, Indiana, the Hoosiers without Xavier Johnson or Race Thompson. Jalen Hood-Schifino turns it over. Chase Audige on the other end. Northwestern 25 points off 16 IU turnovers. Cats would lead by as many as 17, but this Hood-Schifino 3 in the final couple of seconds makes it a one-possession game. Good news for Northwestern. The Cats would ice it with free throws down the stretch. 84-83. Indiana falls to 1-3 in the Big Ten. Iowa on the road playing at Jersey Mike's. First half, Hawkeyes up by 9 on Rutgers. Peyton Sanford knocks down the deep 3. He was 4 of 5 from three-point range. Hawkeyes up by a dozen. Rutgers starting to chip away. Trouble for Andre Hyatt and company. Scarlet Knights shot just 38%, 28% from 3, and Sanford was dialed in from the start. The double deuce, 22 points as Iowa goes on to win it. 76-65. Time for everybody to go to sleep except for Rafael Davis and Mike DeCourcy. Mike, what's your biggest takeaway from the first 3 games in the Big Ten that wrapped up on Sunday?
Rick, you can't save your season in January, but you can save your January, and that's what the Maryland Terps, I think, did with the home victory against Ohio State. They'd lost 2 in a row in the Big Ten, and they weren't far enough removed from that UCLA disaster. They changed the atmosphere today.
And I'm so impressed with the Northwestern team. Their guards, Boo Buie, Chase Audige, combining for 45 points, 10 assists, 4 rebounds, 7 steals on the road.
All right, Zach Edey and company not officially on the road, but it feels like they're on the road. Purdue trails Penn State at the half despite 14-8 from the big fella. That's just too easy.
My name is Austin James. As a musician living with diabetes, finger sticks can be a real challenge. That's why I use the Freestyle Libre 2 system. With a painless 1-second scan, I know my glucose numbers without finger sticks. Now I'm managing my diabetes better, and I've lowered my A1C from 8.2 to 6.7.
Take the mystery out of managing your diabetes and lower your A1C. Now you know. Try it for free at freestylelibre.us.
It's time to bring balance to business travel and discover the equilibrium that works for you. At National, you're in control. Skip the counter, choose any car in the aisle, and manage your rental right from the app. So you can mix work with leisure, or leisure with work, giving you the control to find the perfect balance. Go National. Go like a pro.
Tuesday, the Fighting Illini.
Oh, my goodness.
Head to Lincoln for a conference clash with the Huskers. Big Ten basketball, presented by Rocket Mortgage. Tuesday at 9 Eastern, only on Big Ten Network.
Take a picture.
I'm stuck! Is that a new iPhone? Yep, I just got the new iPhone 14 with its amazing camera at T-Mobile. Wow.
For a limited time at T-Mobile, get 4 iPhone 14s on us and 4 new lines for $25 a line.
To me, a trailblazer has the courage to go forth and create what hasn't been created before. Art has literally been surrounding me since childhood. Some would say it's embedded in my DNA. Growing up in a city like Baltimore, you know, the streets can be a barrier. By the time I got to Penn State, I knew the artwork that I wanted to make. I wanted to challenge certain social ideas. I wanted to make sure that I had an understanding of how communities like mine had been represented. I wanted to address those things through my work. You can't just say I'm a painter. I'm an illustrator, I'm a sculptor, you know, I'm an author, I'm a writer, I'm a poet. I create the work that moves me and that I think will embolden the kids that I teach to create from their soul in a way that I've been able to do so with mine. I'm Aaron Maben, artist, activist, and Penn State graduate.
Halftime on the Big Ten Network is presented by State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
I called Seth Lundy Robin to Jalen Pickett's Batman. Well, this Robin had his utility belt working in the first half. 10 points, and the Nittany Lions lead Purdue 37-31.
Find the styles you love and the prices to match. Shop the Lowe's Bat Style and Save event now, in-store and online.
The best thing for me about the college experience is that it's my last year that I get to be a kid before I grow up.
I'm not playing to try to please anyone else. I'm just playing because I like the sport and because I'm trying to be great at
it. This is a 30-day-old plant of corn. It's not battery-powered. It doesn't have a 300-mile range, but it's vital in our fight against climate change, reducing 46% of carbon emissions compared to gasoline, and producing clean-burning ethanol, a fuel for 98% of the vehicles on the road today. Corn ethanol is the climate solution we need now.
All of Sonic's under $2 craves are under $2, so you can get something tasty without breaking the bank. Sonic under $2 craves.
Sonic. Our Hoops insiders examine the week's top stories. Big Ten basketball and beyond. Tonight on Big Ten Network.
We do more. We step up, stand out, break rules, and spark revolutions. We save lives, we give life, and we get right back to work. We deliver, no, we over-deliver, and we make it look easy. We ball, boss up, shatter records and ceilings and expectations, and at the end of all that,
we still end up with less.
The Gymnastics Nation Super 16, tonight on Big Ten Network.
What's up, Einstein?
My network has gone kaput.
You tried to save a buck on it.
I got what I paid for. Not so smart.
Nah, you're still a genius, but there is a smarter way to save.
Oh.
Switch to Verizon. For a limited time, get Welcome Unlimited for just $25 a line.
$25?
And it's guaranteed for 3 years.
Brilliant!
Well, you would know.
I'm switching.
I think the bike's probably faster.
Now is the best time to switch to Verizon for just $25 a line, guaranteed for 3 years. The savings that last on the network you want. Verizon.
Basketball on the Big Ten Network is brought to you by State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense. The Palestras hosted more college basketball games than any other venue in the nation. And when tickets went on sale for this one in November, they sold out in 3 hours. What a first 20 minutes. Penn State up 6, 37-31. I hope you don't mind that we ditched the jackets because it's about 140 degrees in here. Brandon and Robbie back with you. You know, for Penn State, I think the first 20 minutes probably went exactly how they hoped.
Yeah, they made shots from the perimeter. Jalen Pickett has been phenomenal. And for Purdue, I think that they have executed at a pretty high level themselves. Zach Edey has had himself a first half. Braden Smith also in pick and roll has been fantastic. The problem has been the rest of the team just 2 for 8. We'll see if some of those open shots start to go down.
Andy, what do you have?
Well, I just walked onto this top 4 with Matt Painter. He told me, first of all, the difference in the game was Jalen Pickett. He was great. Seth Lundy hit some great threes, obviously. They got to do a better job on transition and rebounding. And then I asked Matt, what do you think of this environment? He says, oh, man, it's fabulous.
It is fabulous. I do feel like Andy was just making fun of us for taking our jackets off, though. I'm not going to lie.
Well, you weren't kidding when you said it's 140, especially when those lights are on for the on-cameras. That heats you up quickly.
Well, Purdue with the ball to start the second half, trying to avoid just their second loss of the season, what would be their second loss in 3 games. Loyer, step back 3, and he hits it. A good start to the second half for Purdue.
He had a big-time second half in Columbus on Thursday. All 11 of his points coming in that second, including the game winner. That's the other guys we're talking about. Stepping up to the plate and making plays.
And Loyer, the game winner against Ohio State, hit the would-be game winner against Rutgers, but then Cam Spencer would hit the last shot to win it. In the lane, Pickett that time short.
For a freshman to make 2 shots of that caliber and with the magnitude of those, that's pretty impressive.
Up to Edey, can't handle it, but a whistle and a foul against Kebajai.
Braden Smith is continuing his play in pick and roll. He can set up Edey, he can score it himself. I just have been so impressed with him. Had a tough one against Rutgers, but the last 2 games, just phenomenal.
You saw those free throw numbers. Purdue's so good at getting to the line. But in the first half, we only had 3 free throws combined between the 2 teams.
Other than that one little segment of fouls, so it was a pretty clean first half.
Well, Edey able to convert both. Back to a 1-point game. No team has led by more than 7. 3 lead changes, a couple of ties already. Kind of has the feel of one of those games that is going right down to the wire.
That first half was high-level basketball. Penn State had the lead, but it didn't feel like Purdue played bad. Jalen Pickett was that good.
He had 18 points in the first half for Penn State. Here's Lundy. He also had a good first half. Shot clock at 5. And Smith got a hand in there and jarred it free. And a tie-up, and the jump ball will keep it on this end. It was 1 second away from a shot clock violation.
To Penn State, you got to be aware. 1 second, it's got to be catch, turn, and fire.
Well, Pickett will inbound it. It's Funk.
Play.
That's the guy. Well designed.
Yes. That's a master class for a side out of bounds play with 1 second on the clock.
Micah Shrewsbury's good at a lot of things, but they say him drawing up out of bounds plays is really some of his bread and butter. Caleb first from long range.
It's been all about the other guys. 2 of 8 from the field outside of Zach Edey and Braden Smith in that first half. But here in the second, it's another big play.
Little bully ball. Pickett got to his spot. And it belongs to Purdue. 8-0 run right now for the Boilermakers.
He's got the 2 free throws, but the first 3 and the Loyer 3, all of a sudden, these guys starting to wake up with their jumpers.
This is a Purdue team, even though they hit some threes at Ohio State, they have struggled from long range on the season, just over 31%.
Guarding them, if Purdue is shooting like they did at Ohio State, is going to be terrifying. And Fletcher Loyer, wow, what a start to his second half.
He now has 8, the freshman from Fort Wayne, Indiana. Whoa, Lundy a little ambitious against Zach Edey. Knocked out of bounds.
Seth Lundy meet the mountain. Because this thing is getting put on the glass. Love the ambition, but good luck next time.
And now it's 23 to shoot. Penn State will get it into Jai.
I know Micah Shrewsbury told us today at shoot-around that they really wanted to run Zach Edey around the perimeter, and I don't feel like we've necessarily seen it.
Well, here he vacates the middle, but Braden Smith with great hands to knock that out of bounds. And the idea with that, obviously, is to tire Zach Edey out.
Just get him moving, and with Kebajai, it's not going to be the case, but we see Dredd at the 5 or even Michael Henn. That's definitely a possibility.
Funk off on the baseline, but who else? Pickett there for the rebound. Again, he does it all. Points, rebounds, assists. Averages over 7 rebounds a game, and he has 6 right now. Ethan Morton. Yep, that's what he does. He disrupts defensively. He hasn't shot the ball. He's played 20 minutes, but he can do that.
That's what he's out there for. I mean, he is definitely a guy that is going to be there to make plays defensively. Kind of hard to tell from that angle if it was Ethan Morton or those Penn State offensive players who got the last hand on the ball.
Ethan Morton, by the way, Pennsylvania Mr. Basketball a few years ago, but he played over in Pittsburgh's area as they go up top to Zach Edey.
That's a little taste of Penn State's own medicine. You're raising Fletcher Loyer behind the play, and Andrew Funk, you don't want to leave him. But again, it can't be 100% shots for Edey at the rim, and that's what that was.
What a start to the second half for Purdue, now up 6. 12-0 run. Can Penn State stop the bleeding? And Purdue almost got a turnover. It's a different level of aggression to start the second half for the Boilers.
Andrew Funk, you see him guarding Fletcher Loyer in the corner, and as he raises, you got to be in. He's in, he's out, he's back out. It's just a little bit of indecision there, and that causes the lob.
And who is it? It's Braden Smith, like you said, operating that pick and roll. Now here, Smith is going to pick up the foul, his second.
Team second.
It's just the poise of Braden Smith, the look out there. He never seems rattled.
I'm just building off that Rutgers game. That's a different level of pressure and physicality because that defense is so good, except for today. They weren't so good today. But at Purdue, it was a clinic defensively, and it's a learning experience. It's a freshman point guard.
How about you, by the way, calling that Rutgers game and then driving down I-95 to get here? Kids, that's how you get that Gucci wallet.
Well, you'd know from Evansville, Mr. Big Spender.
Morton stops and drops it in. Edey going to work. No.
We'll take that all day if you're Matt Payne.
Around the corner, good ball movement, everything but the finish from Winter. Pickett, though, able to track it down and save it. Winter, great feed, but unable to get it, Kevin Jai. Now Purdue's got numbers. Jai's still in the backcourt, but
hey, look up. There it is.
Throws it away. Jai picking time.
Huge 4-point swing. Looks like it's going to be a Purdue bucket. Ethan Morton, 4 turnovers. Hasn't turned the ball over a lot in the year, but 4 of those coming at Ohio State. That's just a mental mistake throwing that pass.
Edey collects. Edey silences the crowd.
I think Braden Smith sees the lob right now. Unbelievable. Every play. Just throwing it up to Zach Edey and letting him feast.
Edey, ho-hum, 20 and 10.
Yeah, his numbers were starting to get pedestrian for him. Those 19 and 11 dudes.
Yeah, what was that?
That's the standard he set, though. I mean, he got so used to seeing these games of 28 and 18, and he's well on his way tonight.
Second nationally in rebounding, 10th nationally in points for Zach Edey, and they're going to go right back to the big fella.
Brought it down.
And Jai was able to swipe it.
Bring that ball down. You're just exposing yourself to these smaller players.
Lundy, driving kick. Ooh, he got lucky. Pickett, that's a good pass. And there's Cameron Winter.
We've had 2 plays here that should have been big swings in Purdue's favor go against them. The Jai dunk, and then that should have been a steal going the other way, and instead it's a Winter 3.
Purdue had a 12-0 run. Penn State has started to steady the ship here. Edey, bend over. I mean, if you catch it that deep, you can't do anything.
He's 7-4. He's turning. He's scoring. And Penn State asking a lot from Kevin Jai. The freshman, it's not going to end well if that's where Zach Edey catches it.
Evan Mahaffey is set to check in for Penn State, likely for Kevin Jai. Jai, that one too hot to handle. 3-on-2, Smith to Loyer. Freshman to freshman. Timeout, Penn State. Penn State 2-0 here in Big Ten games. 2017 against Michigan State, 2020 against Iowa. They're down 8 right now. Again, a number 1 team has never lost in this building. 8-0. Villanova in 2016, the last number 1 team to win here against LaSalle. Mahaffey back in off the bench.
Zach Edey probably lucky he didn't pick up a foul right there. The way Pickett just herky-jerky, hesitation, get space from Newman and drill his pull-up.
Now he's got 20, Jalen Pickett.
Penn State is so small right now. Hello.
There it is again. Braden Smith to Zach Edey.
Braden Smith is seeing the game right now at another level.
Is there any way Penn State can adjust to that?
I mean, you got to load up and you got to get a tag on Edey early. You got to make him feel you and certainly be physical with him as he rolls to the basket. But right now, the weak side help's just not there.
This time, Newman off the mark from the corner.
I don't think Matt Painter would love that shot. Certainly you want Brandon Newman shooting if he's open, but they're getting whatever they want in the pick and roll. And
Winner splits him and kicks out to Dredd. Braden Smith saved it, but to Mahaffey on the reload. Funk.
They are lucky. You saved that under Penn State's basket. Andrew Funk's not getting better looks than that. He's a guy that leads the Big Ten in threes per game at 3.
And before that, Dredd, a good three-point shooter, also missed one. Fletcher Loyer down inside. Edey. Left hand this time, right over Dredd.
What's he going to do?
He's given up a foot. 6'4".
He'll fight you, but it's just, he's not the same weight class.
Largest lead for Purdue. Edey 5 shy of his career high, 31 points. Funk back to Cameron Winner. Around the arc it goes. Over the hand of Edey, but a miss again.
3-point shot, starting to let Penn State down. They're getting good looks. That's a good possession. It's multiple paint touches. It's one of your best shooters getting a corner 3, but now 1 of 6 in the second half from beyond the arc for Penn State.
We still have not had the under 16 media timeout, and now we're in the under 12 break zone here.
So we have double.
Yes, we do. And this is going to be one of the one right here. You know, a couple differences this year for Zach Edey. One, he's doing a better job of defending without fouling, and they also, Robbie, are able to keep him out on the floor so much more than they did a year ago.
His fitness is incredible. 9 games of 30 minutes or more. Zach Edey has just, let's face it, he's played like the National Player of the Year.
And he only had 2 games of 30 or more in his first 2 seasons, to put that in perspective.
There you go, on that roll right there. Dalian Johnson got a piece early. They were in on the weak side, but it just doesn't matter when he gets on the offensive glass.
And again, the rebound over Miles Dredd, who is 6'4", and Edey is 7'4".
A legit foot.
So now the lead balloons to 12, and we got 11 minutes left. Pickett, great pass, and a slam from Evan Mahaffey.
This 2-man game. Those two on this side of the floor. Mahaffey rolling, Pickett finding him.
Mahaffey, true freshman from Moulder High School, very good high school in the Cincinnati area, was a finalist for Ohio District basketball, and here he gets the steal.
That's some good things. There's a reason he's moved into rotation. Energy guy, can get to the basket, good athlete.
Dalian Johnson kicks to the corner. Lundy, been quiet as of late. Collision, no whistle.
I mean, I think that's got to be a block charge or something.
Right now it's 4-on-4 as the others come back. Loyer beat Lundy down the court and put it up and in.
I'm just surprised that was a no call.
Yeah, usually that's whistled as something, one way or the other. Much different feel from the first half when this building was rocking and Penn State was doing so much right, but Purdue has really controlled this second half. Got another media timeout. 6 assists for Braden Smith, 5 of them on the pick and roll action with Zach Edey. And Purdue is now up 12, and you feel like it's getting to the point where this is a little bit of a danger zone for Penn State.
Yeah, it's definitely teetering, and Purdue flexing its muscles on the interior. Edey with 28 points, 12 rebounds, and points in the paint, 32-20. He's been dominant inside. Don't expect them to go anywhere else because it's been the Edey show.
Well, Purdue has only had 4 players score. You got Edey with 28, then the 2 freshmen, Loyer and Smith, have combined for 25, and then First has 5 points, and that's it.
Pretty wild box score, actually.
Yeah. We were behind on the media timeouts, but we were all caught up, so the next one will come at the under 8 break. And Purdue off to tying their best start in school history at 14-1, trying to get to 15-1. Likely will drop out of the #1 spot due to the loss of Rutgers. But right now they're playing great in the second half. Gillis the other way. That's going to be a goaltend. And the Purdue lead has swelled to 14.
What a defensive possession by Brandon Newman. He has to take on Miles Dredd here. Did a great job taking away the pick and pop, but now getting a hand on the pass. Boy, Fletcher Loyer getting taken out. And then the goaltend there, but Brandon Newman making the play.
And Micah Shrewsbury is not very happy over there. Well, they just whistled a technical, and that's going to put Loyer at the line, and Purdue is going to continue to add on to this lead. Well, this has turned into a bad sequence here for Penn State, who again led at intermission 37-31, but Micah Shrewsbury just got called for a technical foul.
What call do you think he was upset about?
He's trying to talk to John Higgins. Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, there were several where he was barking at both John and DJ Carstensen, but at any rate, now Purdue has a 15-point lead. Jalen Pickett has been the guy, but Purdue has really turned the water off on him in the second half. Not right there, though.
Got Brandon Newman on his back and just wouldn't let him back in the play. It's a strong drive.
He's got 22, the fifth-year senior. Today is his 123rd college game. A lot of experience for Pickett. A lot of experience for Penn State, who Kent Pond has is the most experienced team in the country. Edey, the junior, again with a right hand.
Penn State continuing to not double, and Zach Edey just continuing to make right jump hooks.
Edey now has 30, 1 point away from his career high. Newman almost got a steal there.
Active. Second half here, Brandon Newman doing some good things defensively.
Purdue just, as a team, been so much more disruptive in the second half. Shot clock is dwindling. Pickett steps out, missed it, but offensive rebound to Hayfield. And there's going to be a foul on Fletcher Loyer. Back to the Shrewsbury technical.
It is Micah. You got DJ Carstensen right under the basket. Looks like they're having a conversation. I'm really not sure what play it was over.
But there's the tee. Tempers flaring here a little bit as the second half has not gone the way of the Nittany Lions. And now Dalian Johnson, all kinds of trouble, but he escapes.
He's had a couple opportunities for run-outs off steals. He's not been able to corral the ball.
Pickett forcing the issue and drawing the foul. But Tuesday, more college hoops. The Illini clashing with the Huskers in Lincoln, presented by Rocket Mortgage. That'll be at 9 Eastern here on Big Ten Network and the Fox Sports app. What can Penn State do differently on this end or the defensive end, Robbie, to try to work back into this ball game?
I think you're going to continue to run your offense through Jalen Pickett and make some shots. They just have gone so cold here in the second half. And on defense, I would start sending bodies at Zach Edey. I mean, you're not going to win if he's just making 4-foot jump hooks on every possession. That's what it feels like he's doing right now. Give him a different look, get him a little bit off balance, start sending some pressure, and if they start making threes, so be it. But you're not going to get back in this thing when Edey's on the floor. He's just killing you inside.
He's on the bench right now. Matt Painter just trying to sneak him a little breather before that under immediate timeout. Gillis in traffic. Got his own miss. And the foul. A weight room bucket. bucket for the 230-pound redshirt junior.
The field this half, 1 of 7 from 3.
And so Penn State now facing their largest deficit, 16 points here inside of 8 minutes. Pickett, 24 points, 7 rebounds, and 7 assists. Again, he's the only player in the country that averages 17, 7, and 7, and he's done it again here tonight. Lundy, scoreless in this half, hands it off. And gets it back. But Gillis is all over it.
That big switch again. Tough contested one. That's a heck of a shot.
That's what you call a tip your cap bucket there.
Absolutely. You'll live with that if you're Purdue. That's a big-time shot from Seth Lundy.
So his first points of the second half. Still a 14-point deficit. Smith needs some help. He's just crafty.
This is next-level stuff.
Kaufman with a bucket. How good.
That's
Braden Smith.
That's not a freshman point guard play.
7 assists now for him. That ties his season high. But remember, this is only a 16th college game. Dredd on a reverse.
You know what we just signed? What? Miles Dredd's 4th-2 of the year. And not just his 4th-2 made, his 4th-2 attempted. 96% of his shots come from 3. Nice cuts. Well, that's a rare sighting.
Yeah, 76 of his 79 shots into tonight from outside the arc. That's uncharted waters for him. Kaufman rim off from 3. Chance for Penn State to try to draw a little closer. Pickett spinning and dishing. Lundy from the free throw line. Got it.
That's a real ability. Seth Lundy is a nice secondary piece to Jalen Pickett on this team. Well, Matt Painter wants a timeout. Talk things over defensively, but over 2 really nice plays by Seth Lundy.
I think Matt Painter realized the crowd's starting to swell a little bit. He had 3 timeouts, and he uses 1 there with 5:57 remaining.
I think as well, get number 15 back in the game.
That too. That always helps. A lot of dignitaries in the crowd. We showed you Brad Stevens. Calvin Booth, one of the Penn State greats. General manager now of the Denver Nuggets. He's there at Penn State from 95 to 99. And his son, Kerry, is part of next year's freshman class, along with Micah Shrewsbury's son, Braden. They got some good players coming in next year.
Yes, they do. And Calvin Booth was in the Timberwolves organization when I was there. And I know how much he loves Penn State and has to be so thrilled that his son next year is going to be a part of this team. Cal, one of the great guys in the NBA, and I'm so happy to see that when you look at what he's doing now, to be running an NBA team, that's pretty awesome.
And there's Brad Stevens watching 2 of his very dear friends, Micah Shrewsbury and Matt Painter. In fact, Micah Shrewsbury and his family spent Christmas at the Stevens household in Boston. He's been so tight over the years. Loyer dumps it inside. Here comes the double.
Good help from Mahaffey there. You saw first down on that other block and came and dug it out.
Now find the open shooter. Loyer contested. Short. Foul on the rebound, and it's going to be against Penn State, Evan Mahaffey.
We talk a lot about Edey as an offensive rebounder, but Caleb First is pretty high level at that regard as well. He's in the top 15 in offensive rebound percentage nationally. There's 8 games of 3 offensive rebounds or more, and 5 at Ohio State. You got to worry about Edey, but you got to worry about First as well.
He's also very smart. He majored in what you did at Purdue, biomedical health services. That's not out of bounds. And Caleb First, a 3.81 GPA right now in biomedical health services.
He does it all. He acts. He put out the videos around Christmas.
That's right.
In a really hard major. That's stuff.
It was a great elf spoof that he and Matt Painter did, if you didn't see it. Edey. Oh, Dredd got a hand in the cookie jar there. Shot clock at 3. And 3 drops down for number 2, Fletcher Loyer.
It was just a matter of time for him. He's such a good shooter. Matt Painter has regarded him in the same level as Ryan Klein, Ryan Smith. Now it's starting to show through as a shooter.
That's pretty high praise, those guys. The clip that they shot it at.
Ryan Smith's never going to let me live that down.
Pickett, a few boiler up chants coming down from the Palestra. Yep, it is.
Everything going Purdue's way, and it's not a hard call for John Higgins at all. Lower your shoulder. Purdue has been so good here in the second half.
Given the decided crowd that is favoring Penn State, how the first half went, this first 15 minutes, you're right, Robbie, the second half, so impressive for Purdue.
I think there's no doubt this should be a road game. This is such a pro-Penn State atmosphere. We'll see, I don't know who makes those decisions, but
Andy reported on that in the first half. It could, later on in the year, impact whether or not this would be a quad 1 or a quad 2 victory for Purdue if it holds this way. Great pass. Mahaffey all the way.
Caleb First, he's so locked into Brett, and rightfully so, because Brett can really hurt you from out there, but you lose track of that cutter on the post trap. Nobody home.
Now it's a little bit of a game with a clock. We're inside of 4 minutes. Good kick. There's Loyer. A little strong. Lundy through his hands, but his teammate Pickett right there. A bucket here, and maybe the crowd gets re-energized. And Lundy can't provide it. Whistle. And it will stay with Penn State. Final media timeout.
Talk to Micah. He did say that he has had some conversations with other Big Ten coaches, and they've been open to playing here. You know, why not? It's a historic place. It's a great atmosphere, and I think as long as it is a road considered game, you know, that there is benefit to playing in this thing.
It's the 61st time that Penn State has played at the Palestra, but again, they really started to resume it, like Andy said, in 2017 with that game against Michigan State. But it's just fantastic. The atmosphere, what a treat to these fans. Mahaffey short on the hook, and now time is starting to dwindle here a little bit on the Nittany Lions.
Ooh, it's really dark. I mean, they are just into Jalen Pickett, and they are swarming.
It has been a tale of two halves. Purdue really did flip that switch at intermission.
They did it in the Ohio State game, too. All of a sudden, making everything. And we've been really good second half the last two games.
Yeah, they got down 26-14 against Ohio State. And a shot clock violation there. They'll give it back to Penn State. A lot of quotes if you walk around the Palestra. This is one of the most interesting ones from Chuck Daly. Like having warm maple syrup poured all over you. I like the second part of the quote. I'm not sure who wants maple syrup poured all over them, though, Chuck.
Yeah, that's interesting. Would he coach the dream team? Sorry.
That's right. But it is just a phenomenal place. It's been around since 1927. Dredd hits a three.
Really nice job by Miles Dredd to free himself off that handoff and find something from beyond the arc.
Penn State looking for one last gasp here. Edey wants the ball. He gets it. And he feeds it to Caleb First.
Easy game. Throw it inside your best player. Caleb First cuts with a purpose. Zach Edey, much improved as a passer this year. Finding his format.
Doing everything. A couple of assists to go along with 13 points and 13 rebounds and now 3 blocks. A Loyer, Matt Painter, saying let's just kick it out, but they go into Edey and a foul.
Matt Painter doesn't like that decision from Fletcher Loyer. I see that it's certainly there, but you're putting your bigs in a tough spot.
With a travel on Edey, not a foul.
Bring it out and run the clock.
Mentioned that this is tied for the best start for Purdue in school history. They've done it now 5 times, being 14-1. The last 2 times, Robbie, you know well, 09-10 and 2010-2011. As Pickett drives it into the chest of Edey there. At what point does Penn State foul?
It looks like now, 20 on the shot clock, you might as well play it out because you've already lost half your time.
Purdue going to work as much of those red numbers above the basket as they can here. Smith, that one partially blocked. Somehow it's still went in. it looked like Lundy may have gotten a piece of that.
I think Braden Smith might have double clutched and avoided Seth Lundy, but an incredible shot.
Inside of a minute. That may have been the dagger there from the freshman. And now, if that wasn't the dagger, that turnover by Jalen Pickett is.
This is 2 consecutive games for Braden Smith where he has just been unbelievable.
15 points, 5 rebounds, 7 assists for the man with the ball right now. But here, though, he turns it over. What a response for Purdue after that heartbreaking loss to Rutgers. To go into Columbus, get a tough come-from-behind win, and now a big second half here to take care of Penn State in a hostile environment.
I think if you told Matt Painter you could go 2-1, you probably, obviously you want 3-0, but it's a pretty good stretch when you're talking about playing Rutgers at home, Ohio State on the road, and essentially Penn State in a road game.
Purdue has been ranked number 1 since December 12th. They may lose that tomorrow, but all in all, 15-1, 4-1 in the league, and atop the Big Ten. And this was a tough, I'm going to call it road win here today in Philly.
Absolutely. Zach Edey, too big, too good in the second half. Penn State, really nice first half. Jalen Pickett played at a high level. But that man right there, it just didn't matter. It's another game that solidifies him in the number 1 spot for the National Player of the Year.
30 points, 13 rebounds, continuing to add on to a sensational junior year. And yes, don't forget about number 3, Braden Smith, a freshman that plays well beyond his year.
Let's talk about Fletcher Loyer as well. 14 of his 17 points coming in the second half. Big-time offense from the freshman.
Andy's with Matt Painter.
All right, thank you, Brandon. Well, Matt, must have been quite a halftime speech because they did everything you wanted in the second half. How do you explain it?
Well, I thought, Pickett was so good in the first half. Tough shots, tough threes. We adjusted one little thing, but we just had to stay with it. We had to do a better job rebounding. We had to do a better job of getting the ball to Zach and just letting him score down there. I thought Braden Smith was fabulous. And then Fletcher Lawyer's had 2 really good games where he's been great in the second half. He really got going for us, but good team effort. I thought our bench came in and gave us better minutes this game here in the second half, just like they did in the other one. But in the first half, we didn't get much from them, but it's hard when you only play 4 or 5 minutes at a time.
Matt, you've been doing this a long time. We've seen Player of the Year performances. We saw one tonight from Zach Edey. How would you describe it?
Well, he's a stud, man. He's tough to deal with, 7'4", 290. He works on his game. He's got good post skills. He can pass the basketball. So if they're going to take it all away, we got to be able to step up and make some shots. Just trying to have that balance. But, he's earned everything that he's gotten.
The Palestra, historic building. You agreed to play here for Mike Shrewsbury. What did you think of this atmosphere?
Oh, this is big time, man. This is big time. This is an unbelievable spot. And just all the history. Philadelphia is a great city, a great sports city. And just fortunate to be able to bring Purdue here and play.
Thanks, Matt.
All right, thank you.